we are in this together.
You have gifts that I don't have, and I have gifts that you don't have.
That we must see. Now is the time, because it's when we all get together that we will make the changes that we must make. We are the world.
Welcome to Malcolm and We, heard exclusively on malcolmpresents.com. And I've been telling some jokes well, I thought they were jokes, but I haven't been getting a laugh aside from Yana. Anyway, Yana, could you introduce our guest? Wait a minute. Oh, I forgot. We are a streaming network that produces our own show. And we could be heard, thanks to the streaming, we could be heard worldwide. And our signals go into outer space. So we might have alien beings listen to us. So please take care. Anyway, Yana, could you introduce our guest?
I certainly can, Malcolm. Our guest today is Shannon McArthur from Kamloops, British Columbia in Canada. And this is how she describes herself, and I love this self-definition. I am a seeker, a reader, a storyteller, and a speaker for spirit. Whenever she inspires me, retired, I now have time to be inspired and do what I like. I like being with people, and I believe we are one human family and the child of God's. Also, that you should believe what feels right to you and all to respect the great Mother Earth. Every time I see her, she always has a huge smile on her face. So she certainly appears to be a very happy and well grounded person, as we were just talking about before. Welcome, Shannon. Thanks for being here.
Thank you
Hi,
so
Shannon.
much, Shanna. And thank you so much, Malcolm, for creating this space where we could come together. Our coming together virtually is so important to the ongoing development of the one we are. And that's actually one of the things that I talk about. The one we are is awakening to the fact that we are one indivisible entity, no matter how we perceive ourselves from inside our individual selves. selves.
Selves or selves?
Both.
Both.
And that is, I think, going to be that's the ticket to the destiny that we are all divinely designed to experience in this lifetime, my belief. And maybe that's just for me, and maybe I'm going to have to live until I'm 150 to see it happen. But I feel very strongly that I have been designed, my lifeline has been designed in order for me to see that reality come true.
Yes, I totally agree. And as we were talking before, we are kindred spirits in that. And I just love the way you describe yourself, and that you are of an age now where you can be what you want to be, what you like to be. And that is why I also share that now I can do what I want to do, and I don't have, I mean, I'm I'll never be wealthy, and that's okay because money's only money, but I can do what I'm doing with We the World and with Malcolm and, all of the great organizations and the people thereof that I have met. And I wonder, when you were a little girl, do you remember sort of like having that sense about yourself that way? Because I think I kind of do, but I didn't know what it was. And certainly I couldn't put it into words, but I felt like I was just, I don't want to say not of this planet, but, I just had a sense that I was different that way when it came to being empathic really young, and I didn't have to have anyone explain that. I needed to learn the word years later, but that feeling of goodness and niceness and all those things.
My mom has, my mom and I had a song, You Are My Sunshine. And
Yeah.
in her life, I was that for her, and she created that for me. So in my youth, I experienced that very strongly. And then basically the need for money in order to justify my existence uh, beat it out of me. And it was really, well, it broke me.
Huh? Are you an only child?
No, I have a brother that's 2 years older than me, and he
Did,
was my teacher. That's
did
the
your brother
nice.
feel the same way? That both her children, both your mother's children, were their
No,
center of the
no,
universe?
he he has a different path. He took he's a financial advisor. And so he got very caught up in the money and the machinations of the machine.
Mhm.
Um, the sweetness of him as a young child, um, it, it didn't survive. And yet I see echoes of it in him, and I hold a, a deep desire to have that part of him come out and thrive once more. I think it's deep inside all of us. It was born in all of us as children. And this society that we are in is desperately hard on children. Uh, they say it takes a village to raise a child. And we have been separated by the society that we live in to sit in our own little boxes, four walls, and we get to have, a husband or wife, or and children maybe, and one or two go out and work, and they make a living, and then they bring the money home, and it all goes out, and sometimes more than came in, and we are so deeply in debt. And you know I want to help us climb on top of those walls and meet up there and dance on the foundation that we create together, a new common ground that allows us to see the sparkle within each one of us. We have been divinely designed. I love that phrase. And let me go into that a little bit. The the way I see it is that God is eternal, and God is outside of time, and God, you can call God whatever name you want to. Um, she doesn't mind. And um, and we are a part of God, and God is more than the sum of its selves. Its cells, and we are, and our Mother Earth is a complete being in herself, just like the sun is a complete being in itself. And so is Mars and Venus and all of these different entities. And the one we are is Gaia. We are Gaia getting in touch with herself, awakening to the power within us, which I like. I love acronyms. I talk to you about mom. Well, there's pop as well. Pop is the power of people.
Mm.
And pop, his the job of pop is to tend and adore Mother Earth. We are here to help her come into touch with herself, to be able to regenerate from within her being the beauty and abundance that has once been hers. This being, the action of becoming, has been really hard on her. She needs our help in order for her to keep us here. She needs our help, and it is through helping her that we get in touch with Pop.
Well, the question, well, it's two things I wanted to bring up. Number one, what I see is when you mention God, I'm not sure if I believe in a God, but I know there's a a greater force than myself. But I always consider it sort of like Mother Nature, which that's what I agree with you. There is a Mother Nature, there's a force on the earth. But like the earth itself does not need us, does not need people. I mean, if we're going to go, if we're going to go, with the climate change, and we as a human race cannot exist with that type of change, the earth is going to exist.
Mm-hmm.
If man becomes extinguished in 100 years, there will be an earth. There will be, as you have. Every time I go to the ocean, and I was raised at the beach, and I see the waves go, and I think if this has been going on for millions and billions of years, and it didn't take man, because for a lot of the times there was no human beings, and in fact, and a lot of the times there were no animals or anything. It was like the tide is forever. So if we take out the God factor, that there is some supreme being that rules us all, then I can agree with you. Then number two, what did you do in your working days? And that's I want to get firstly, professionally, what did you do? And then how do you disseminate your information? How do you get to people?
Thank you so much. First, I want to address your difficulty with God, if I may. For me, God is light, God is love, God is much more than any word that we could assign it. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you believe in God. You are a part of it. And we are all a part of it. And it doesn't matter what we believe. We all need to function within this reality, which is the schoolhouse or the playground of the being that we are all a part of. I like to think that Mother Earth has a womb around her. She wears her womb like a blanket, and she enjoys to have a fertile womb. And by our existence, we have put her womb in jeopardy. And it is incumbent upon the child of Mother Nature, of Gaia, to do our best to help her recover. And that is a mission that you can take on or not. It doesn't matter. I mean, it is what it is from my perspective, and everybody gets to have their own perspective. And thank you so much for listening, because this is what I do. I give people the opportunity to look at things from a different perspective. I know that it's different from most people. And some people have mentioned that, oh, that's a very Pollyanna kind of attitude. And, and Jana has had the same kind of thing. And, we need to have people with positive perspectives in order to counteract the darkness that is so present in our world. And so thank you, Jana, for smiling and shining so brightly in your world, because it shines into mine. And I thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
One of the things that I do in order to shine this light of mine is I go to Humanity Rising in the mornings. Jim Garrison presents some comments before he invites his guests in. And that is humanityrising.solutions. Sign up, come on in. And then in the chat, you will see an invitation from Stan Pockris to come and join him in the after chat. And I help in the after chat to moderate the conversation.
And then you write about it so that
I,
it's there afterwards. So that's
I
very
do.
nice.
I do Jim's Nuggets. Now, I used to call it Jim's morning messages because for me, it's
Uh-huh.
8 o'clock in the morning. Um, and and it's on YouTube and it's an hour and a half long. And so his messages were only being seen by people who could um, commit themselves to an hour and a half program, maybe once or a couple of weeks. I figured if it was in text, other people would be able to access those messages. So I started using the
Weebly.
YouTube transcript in order
Oh,
to create the messages. So I had to take these very long sentences and
yes.
punctuation and links and whatnot. And it's now Jim's Nuggets because Jim told me that other people had used that term before. So this is a continuation in Jim's life of a dissemination of his perspective into the greater world. I
Well, it's all
don't.
about communication. So that's just another method because even though a lot of people know about Jim Garrison and what he does and what you do, not everybody does. And so the whole idea is to be able to reach more audiences. And Malcolm, you're muted in case you didn't realize. I saw you were like, "Grrr." You're muted. You're muted. We see your lips moving, but we can't hear you.
Well, we'll carry the load
You
until
couldn't
you
find his
come
record
in.
button. Oh,
Okay, I'm back
there
on.
we
Here you
go.
are.
Now, I want you to know,
Malcolm.
are you on audio or video or both? Or uh, are
Well,
you live?
I'm as live as they can be. In the after chat, I am live as in audio, visual, and in real time.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that starts sometimes 9 o'clock, sometimes 9:30 until 10:30 Pacific time. And right now, Jim is in Washington. This is a really exciting period of time. On September 5th, the beginning of this season, he came out with the announcement that he was moving to Washington to be part of the disclosure of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, the
Mm.
UFO issue. There was a bill going before Congress, and they are in the process of addressing whether or not or how the disclosure of secrets that have gone back 80 years to the end of the Second World War. All of these things have been in the control of contractors of the Defense Department of the United States, and it has been deemed to be secret, even from the president. And so that is now coming out into the archives of the US government. These are true things, and there has been a conspiracy in order to keep this secrecy happening and to ridicule people for believing in UFOs and ETs.
Yeah, as far as I've listened to some of the congressional hearings, on that recently, and it's basically there's no one that said there are extraterrestrial beings there, but there are unexplained phenomena. There are
We
unexplained
are so
sightings.
full of, it's just my, I am beside myself. These people from other planets have come throughout time, throughout human history. They have been a part of our civilization. We can't translate what the people, the humans from long ago, made pictures of spacemen. I mean, come on, they've got pictures of rockets. They have stone carvings of, come on.
Yeah, and these and these aliens must be very smart, because what they do is they come here, look around, and say, "No, we don't want to stay here.
Can you blame them?
It's not
And
worth it, right?"
we are kind of stuck on our planet and we are in our soup until we figure this out. And
In our soup. I love that expression. That's a good one.
we need to allow these things to come out and for reconciliation to happen. Truth and reconciliation. This has all been done to us by powers that we have no way of personally making a difference in. This has to be done in a way that Greater Hands has got this all in control. We don't have control. The control is in Greater Hands. And
It's amazing to think about how much we don't know,
Right.
isn't it?
As a matter of fact, this greater hand just dim your light.
you did.
Did
It
you
did
see that all of a
early.
sudden? All of a
It
sudden,
was kind of cosmic,
yeah,
really.
it's sort of they're saying, we're not going
Control her lighting.
to. Again, give the website where you could hear the shows, where
That the shows you can sign up to get morning emails with the Zoom link at humanityrising.solutions.
I feel like singing, or should be, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine.
That's our song.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And
The background,
yeah.
I just want to mention that the background behind me is intentionally, it is a depiction of the name that Mom gave me, which is sunlight sparkling on the waters.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of trouble when I first was given that name. That name is much too pretty. People won't believe me that it was given to me. They'll think it's an ego thing and that I did it myself. I did not choose it. It was given to me.
You sound like an Indian. And what's your name? Sunlight sparkling on the water.
Well, the indigenous has had a lot of influence on my life. When I was a little girl, my grandmother used to read to my brother and my cousins and I out of a big book called Hiawatha and the Peacemaker.
Huh?
Oh.
And in that book, Hiawatha had a girlfriend and her name was Minnehaha.
Yes.
And I loved that name. And I thought, oh, I want a name that means something. And no, I didn't realize that my own name actually means something, but
What does it mean?
well, something very similar. It has to do with wise water and
Shining and sparkling. My name is a derivative of Jane, which means, I think, beloved or beloved. So,
Well,
My name Malcolm means a wise man. No.
well, you are a wise man, and it should
funny
be.
joke man.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you do.
In your earlier life, what type of profession? What is your background? Or your schooling, or
Well,
just
you
so
know,
you
I'm an ordinary woman. You know, I grew up, graduated from grade 12 and went into uh, retail clerk for a very short time and a bank clerk for another very short time. And I did, uh, temporary work here and
You
there.
are a Renaissance woman, just like I am.
Well, what really turned the corner on that was I went back to school for business management to get a piece of paper, because I thought I was going to do, something for myself. And I after I got that, I did more temporary work. And I finally I landed a job in City Hall in Surrey, BC. And I was the public hearing clerk, basically the bridge between the public and council. And that was an amazing thing. It was the job that I was made for, but the processes weren't tooled correctly. And I was doing 20 hours a week overtime sometimes. And it was just unlivable, undoable. And through the process, I worked with, I got some permission from the top in order to work with IT and created a process which made my job part of somebody else's. And so I
Oh,
had to go and look for another position. I found a position as a tree cutting permit clerk. Um, and and then I was in the OCP, official community plan. I helped with data entry, and that did the final job on me, and I was then broken completely, and I went off on sick leave. Clinical depression, they, you know, they they find a weakness and they get you. This is not a health system. It's a sickness system. They find a way in order to get into your life, and then they medicate you to the point where you are incapable of functioning in real life. And then
know.
yeah, sorry.
Well, I like the philosophy is that doctors should not get paid for treating patients. Doctors should get paid when the patients are healthy.
I think so.
In other words,
And it should be,
if you're sick to go to the doctor, that's their fault. And again, I'm totally down on our health system the way it is, because you say everything is medication, and all
yeah.
the medication we get have all these side effects, and they don't really treat the root cause of the illness, which a lot might be depression.
The and that actually is a doorway into the last part or the next part that I want to talk about, which is our heart gardens. This is a vision that I was given while I was working at Surrey City Hall, involved with the official community plan. What I figured out is that the government part of the city is almost powerless in what happens in their city. It's the citizens who make the difference. If you want your city to be different, you need to be a part of it in order to help make the changes that you want to see. Pardon me. Our heart gardens in the vision is where we come together and grow good kids and good food inside and outside of buildings, but the buildings themselves can hold, like a conservatory, can hold the smell of fertile earth. The
mm,
smell of fertile earth has medicine in it. Mother Earth has provided the medicine that you can never OD on, but you need it. That smell of fertile earth holds um, the the off-gassing of bacteria, Mycobacterium vaccae. And this is our tool in order to provide medicine to our people in our cities. You know, we come together in communities, we come together, too many in one place. The only way we can survive is by having parts of our communities pumping goodness into the tissues, the issues that.
Yeah, Shannon, I hate to interrupt you, but our half hour is up, whether you
Oh,
believe it or not. But what I'd like to
we'll
do
have to have you back.
now we have to get you back. More than that, as I say, Malcolm Presents is we are affiliated with Malcolm and We, which is this organization that
It's We the World.
It's We the World that helps different smaller groups, get the word out how to heal the world. But what I'd like to see from you is maybe part of that is, you'll speak to us off camera, is that we could do a show with you alone, maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes, since with Zoom, we control the time. So if you want like 15 minutes a week that you have something that you want to talk to, you can do and pontificate and talk or interview a guest, because you really do shine.
Thank you so much.
And I feel the energy from you, and I feel the goodness. As I say, really, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, and that's what I feel when I speak to you.
Truly, I told you you would love her.
But then again, we have to leave. Thank you very much, and we'll speak, and I'm sure we could come up with some sort of format that would be
We'll
good
be
for
in
both
touch,
of us.
Shannon.
We'll be in touch, or you could call Yana. You have.
Thank you so much.
We're great buddies now, so we'll be talking.
Yana is my light.
Aw.
Anyway, thank you
much.
again. And you're listening to MalcolmPresents.com, and the show is Malcolm and We. And just go to MalcolmPresents.com, go to Malcolm and We, and you'll see a list of shows. And I know both of you, I don't know if you're not Jewish, but it's a Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
And light the candles.
And peace
Happy
to all.
Hanukkah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The objective of the organization We the World is to facilitate cooperation on a global scale amongst groups and individuals dedicated to implementing solutions to the many challenges we face on the planet at this time.